I will shortly flag off on behalf of the President 41 vehicles to expand the service operational fleet.
This is Prison Staff Training College in Ruiru, where pomp, color, and military precision defined the day as Deputy President Kindiki inspected the Guard of Honor and presided over the 27th Officer Cadet passing out parade. The event was streamed live on the Deputy President's official Facebook page, drawing thousands of viewers from across the country. Let me take you through the major highlights from the Deputy President's address and the day's proceedings. The Deputy President congratulated 36 cadet officers who successfully completed 13 months of rigorous training. The program combined classroom theory at the Prison Staff Training College with practical exposure and field at correctional facilities across the country. The cadets were trained in legal procedures, security operations, prison management, discipline, and professional competencies required for the correctional service. In his address, Kindiki emphasized that the passing out parade marked the culmination of over a year of academic, practical, and field-based preparation and the beginning of the officers' careers as correction officers serving the nation. In what he described as a landmark milestone for the correctional system, the Deputy President officially commissioned the Wanini Kireri Magereza Level 5 Hospital, a 150-bed ultra-modern facility named after the late Wanini Kireri, the first female commandant of the Kenya Prison Service. Kindiki highlighted the hospital's key capabilities: the intensive care unit ICU and high dependency unit HDU, radiology and dental units, maternity wing, renal and specialist care services. He noted that the facility will operate along similar lines to hospitals serving the Kenya Defence Forces, providing comprehensive health care to correctional officers, inmates, and the surrounding community. The hospital has already been integrated with the Social Health Authority Usalama Cover Public Officers Medical Scheme, covering outpatient, inpatient, maternity, specialist care, and emergency evacuation services for officers and their dependents. The Deputy President reiterated that following the commissioning, the hospital will open its doors to the public, expanding access to quality and affordable health care beyond the correctional services fraternity. Kindiki underscored the government's commitment to transforming the Kenyan prison service from a system of punishment and retribution to the one anchored on rehabilitation, correction, and reintegration. He affirmed that investment in personal training and infrastructure remains central to the transformation of the Kenyan prison service. Addressing the welfare of prison officers, the Deputy President flagged off newly acquired vehicles for the Kenya Prison Service and officially commissioned newly constructed staff housing units at the college. Kindiki said the housing units will provide better accommodation for police officers and support a more conducive working environment. In a stern charge to the graduating cadets, Kindiki called on the new officers to uphold the highest standards of integrity, discipline, and professionalism as they take up their duties within the correctional system. He urged the officers to be ambassadors of the ongoing reforms within the service. The Deputy President also touched on the long-standing issue of prison congestion, urging stakeholders across the justice value chain to implement alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, particularly for petty and minor offenses. He said the government will continue working with the judiciary to explore alternatives to imprisonment where appropriate and to exercise the power of mercy to help decongest correctional facilities. The Deputy President was accompanied by Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, senior officers from the State Department for Correctional Services, Kenya Prison Service Leadership, led by Commissioner General of Prisons Patrick Arandu, trainers, parents, and family members of the graduating officers. Kindiki acknowledged their role in supporting the transformation of the service. So to recap the major takeaways from Deputy President Kindiki's address at today's 27th Officer Cadet passing out parade here in Ruiru, 36 cadet officers graduated after 13 months of intensive training and are now deployed to the Kenya Prison Service. The Wanini Kireri Magereza Level 5 Hospital, a 150-bed ultra-modern facility, was officially commissioned, offering ICU, HDU, radiology, dental, maternity, renal, and pediatric services to officers, inmates, and the public. New staff housing units and vehicles were commissioned and flagged off to improve officer welfare. Kindiki also reiterated the shift from punishment to rehabilitation as the cornerstone of correctional reform. He challenged the new officers to uphold integrity, discipline, and professionalism. He called for prison decongestion through alternative dispute resolution and the exercise of the power of mercy. I am Sunondari for National Art TV.